Deandre Davis, part owner of My Walk is Different, and I'm here with
Lauren.
And I thought she had a very dope story, and it was worthy of getting an interview for My Walk is Different. So, I've been knowing you for a very long time. We worked at Airtime together, right? Mm-hmm. So, at what age did you start at Airtime?
I was 17.
17, and how old are you now?
25.
That's crazy. So, from 17 to 25, I've kind of seen you kind of mature into a woman. Mm-hmm. So what can you tell me about the 17-year-old you to now the 25-year-old you? Like, how's that process? What was the growth?
I would definitely say like my mindset. Like my mindset is totally different from 17 to 25. Like how I think about things, like how I view life and stuff like that. Like at 17, I don't think I thought, but I ain't really, think. Like,
yeah.
I used to be so quick to speak, high head, stuff like that. And then now I just really think about stuff, like I evaluate things for what it is. I ain't so quick to get mad no more. Like, I just really try to like.
So you saying you don't get mad?
I mean, I get mad, you feel me? But like, I don't just be jumping off, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so my mindset is totally different from like 17, 25. Mm-hmm. It's a blessing.
Okay. So you graduated from Western, right?
Yes.
What year did you graduate from Western?
Summer 21.
Summer 2021.
Mm-hmm.
How was that process? A lot of people go to school or they try to prejudge it, or this gonna be a walk in the park, or some people come in knowing they be scared from the jump, like how school is gonna be. So how was that for you?
So definitely not a walk in the park. Like when you get there, it just be like you see everything going on, all this other stuff.
A lot of distractions.
Yes, like going out and all this other stuff. You want to meet people, and you don't want to feel like the no one. All this, it's just a lot. Mm-hmm. And so definitely, when I did get there, I kind of struggled it a little bit. Yeah. Not too bad, but I was distracted. Like I'm trying to get to know people, going to parties and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But as you go throughout college, you're like, all right, I'm not finna be here all my life.
Right.
I then talk to some people. They're like, yeah, I've been here 6 years, but I'm gonna get out. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm not gonna do that. So I did, I got out in 4.5. That's still good, but it's definitely not easy. Like, but I'm glad, I got that degree. I'm out of there.
Okay, congratulations. So do you belong to a sorority, correct?
Yes.
What sorority do you belong to?
The Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
How difficult was that process of being in a sorority and getting through that to be initiated into?
I would definitely say like it was difficult. It was difficult because with my line, and I know some of the lines can relate to it as well. Like we crossed in a pandemic, so it's like everything was new, switching over to virtual and stuff like that. Having to do everything remote, like it was new.
Would you say that was the hardest part of it?
Yeah, I think definitely that was the hardest part. Just getting, because even with me, like when you learning and stuff like that, like I'm more of like an in-person type of learner. So even like school and stuff like that, like virtual, like that was kind of difficult. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so it was like they learning, we learning. It's trial and error and stuff like that. But like we got through it. Yeah. So I think that was definitely like the most difficult part, and having to, people losing loved ones and things like that during that time. It was just like a terrible time in history. But I made it through, and everybody who did pledge, like in the pandemic, like we made it through, those that did, and it's a rewarding thing.
So is it what people say it is? I know people love to talk about the hazing and all the stuff you gotta go through to get through it. Was it worth it? Is it really a sisterhood?
It's definitely a sisterhood. Like, everybody gonna have their comments and what they say and stuff like that, but like it's really a rewarding process to go through, because you just meet people that it's just so many connections. Everybody is like different. Like all my lines just have different careers and stuff like that. Everybody has different personalities and everything, and it's just like I'm with these girls for life, like these women for life. And so it's just like it's a rewarding feeling to have those people with you, next to you, go through like, I'm in the baby showers and graduations, and you always have that support. And so even just like with our principles, like sisterhood, scholarship, service, like, be able to give out, go into the community and give, and, like empower the Black community. So it's a very rewarding thing, definitely.
Okay. So your dad's birthday is September 15th, which is tomorrow. Can you explain kind of how it felt having his birthday come, and then within that same week, him passing away? So the mix of emotions, can you kind of explain how it was kind of like a roller coaster of emotions?
Definitely. So my dad did pass a week after his birthday. I wasn't able to be there for the day of his birthday because during the time I was a residence assistant.
Yeah.
So it's like part of it, like that's my scholarship for school, like a big part of my scholarship to get through school. And so I had to fulfill certain duties and things like that, to meet the requirements to keep my scholarship. So I so happened to have to work that day, and I wasn't able to go home for his birthday. But, a few days after, I was able to, like, go home and see him and stuff like that. And I had sent my brother money to give him a cake. So I was able to see, my brother and stuff like that, sing happy birthday to him, like see a video of him, blow his candles and stuff like that. And then, for him to pass a week later, it was very, I would say, traumatic because, you don't know this is the last birthday. Like, you don't know this is going to be the last time. So it was difficult.
Yeah. So I know they say that when some people pass in your life, especially that close to you, it's a process of kind of, getting through. I don't think it's a get over thing. So I think it's a get through thing. You kind of do it day to day. So how do you feel like, for anybody out there that's dealing with that or a situation similar, how did you get to a situation of coping?
I definitely would say, like, coping with the situation, I really had to pray. I don't know why, y'all, I had to pray. Yeah. And I had to really ask God to allow me to, run in the right direction instead of running in the wrong direction. Because I've seen, people lose their parents, they really lose themselves. It's crazy, but I didn't want to be like that,
Yeah.
Like, I know everybody copes differently, but I just didn't want to cope in the wrong way. And so with that, it was hard. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I was in a dark place for a while, and it took me a while to get out of that. Yeah. I had to really just tell myself, like, Lauren, like, you just gotta keep going. Like, you can't stop now, because it's like when you go through traumatic stuff in your life, it's like all people think about in their head is, man, she gonna make it through that. Like, man, she might not. That's tough. Especially for the ones that like really like know me. They would know that I'm really close to my dad. I was really close to my dad. Yeah, it's like my best friend. And so I was just telling myself every single day, like, you gotta beat the odds. Like, you gotta. It hurt, but you gotta get up. You gotta keep moving. You gotta keep going. Life don't stop.
So to speak, you would say, I would feel like that means you use him as motivation, for things going on in your life. So is anything in particular, like, you kind of wanted to give up and you sat there and thought about your dad and you knew that you couldn't give up?
Definitely. It was a lot of things I wanted to just kind of give up on. I do use my dad's motivation because before he passed, he basically was like, you gotta promise me that you're gonna keep going, that you're gonna finish school, that you're gonna get everything done like that you need to get done. And I told him, I was like, what, Dad, like, I'm gonna do that. I'll do that for you. And so, definitely use him as motivation.
Motivation to get through. Okay, so I have a situation that I was in when I was in a relationship, and Sydney, mom, had called me and told me about her dad passing, and she wanted me to not break the news to her, but she wanted me to go get her and just kind of like play like the day is regular and kind of bring her to her so she could have that conversation with her. So, and I know how difficult it was for me to hold that information. It wasn't even my dad. So, how was it you hearing that he passed, and what was the emotions after that?
So my situation was kind of different than normal people. I mean, I'm sure other people have gone through probably the same situation that I've been through, but usually it's somebody telling you if somebody's passed. With my situation, I was there when my dad passed, and so I just kind of remember that night, like I remember having an assignment to do. And I was up late, and my dad was kind of different during that time because it seemed like he was in more pain than usual. So I was very attentive to him that day, you know, doing my paper and stopping and stuff like that. So I remember the person I was talking to during the time, like every time I got up, I would text him, I'm up again. And I remember, I think it was like 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then like, man, I'm tired because I had stayed up, but like, you know, I'm hearing my dad, so I'm like, get up, make sure he's okay, things like that, making sure he got his pain meds and everything else. And so I think it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, like that next day, and I kind of just heard, you know, something fall over. It was my dad, you know, like when I woke up, it was my dad. So of course, like, you know, I've never been through anything like that before. It's like having to, you know, I've always took like CPR and stuff like that, being in like the health field and everything, but I never really had to use it.
And having to use it the first time would be your dad.
Right. And so, you know, having to contact 911 and things like that, and trying to bring him back and listen to them on the phone at the same time, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot, you know. I would have rather took somebody telling me.
Yeah.
But I would also say like the situation didn't break me either, which I'm grateful for, because I know a lot of times if somebody went through that would be traumatic. That's something you just, you know, you would constantly think about. But I really thank God that that's not something that I had to go through with having that as a memory every single time. You know, I close my eyes.
Yeah. So what would you say that is the most standout moment when you think of your dad?
Me and my dad have so many memories together. Like, I think the most standout memory with my dad is that we used to go to the park all the time. And we used to like sit on the benches. There was this park down the street from our house, and we used to go sit on like the bleachers. It was like a baseball field and stuff like that. And I remember we used to look out like at the baseball field and stuff like that. Because when I was younger, we would go to that field and we would play baseball. My dad like loved baseball, and so I remember we would really sit out there and like we would really talk. You know, like really have like deep conversations. He would tell me a lot about life. Like, it'll be like majority places, like even all over the city. My dad we'd be driving and he'll pull over somewhere and just get to talking. But he would pull over in that spot to be like, tell me a story about, you know, I remember when I was here at this age, because he was born and raised in Detroit, and so that was like my greatest memories with him for real, because it was like those real life talks, like them talks that you really needed to hear, and I didn't understand it. But then, because I'm like, just went over to a random place and talking, but I really heard him out, you know what I'm saying? Like, even now, to this day, like, the advice and stuff that he gave me, like, all that he poured into me, like, I use that in my life now.
And I even hearing that kind of like warms my heart, because that's the kind of relationship I would love to have with my dad, you know, when I grew up. So my dad is still around, so it's never too late. But just growing up, people don't understand how important, you know, that is to kids, and how we really look at our parents as superheroes. You know, before we actually find out about the world, you know, all we know is our parents. So it's good that he sat down and had those conversations with you, because that's something that you'll always remember, and that's just something that when I hear it kind of warms my heart to hear, because I always wanted that. So what can you tell me about Psychward LLC, and kind of what is the goals of it?
Okay, so Psychward LLC, basically it is, you know what, because I just changed, well, the meaning is still the same, but
what made you come up with it?
Okay, so me and my best friend Anna, like we real big on mental health.
Mm-hmm.
She's big on mental health because of the things she's personally went through in life. So am I.
Yeah.
So we was like, man, definitely to everyone, you know, helping people through mental health, everyone, but a primary focus, especially in the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being African American, it's sad to say that a lot of within our families and stuff like that, especially men, like, we're not given the opportunity to really express ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's always like, if we even have those vulnerable moments or those weak moments and things like that, it's always like, no, like, you need to get it together and stuff like that. Or even the stuff that happened in the Black community, killing, all this other stuff, people losing family members, everything. Like, imagine those that can't talk about that. Yeah. Imagine those that can't go nowhere and feel like they have a safe outlet to even express those things.
Yeah. They
hold those things in, and as time goes on, it creates a bigger wound. And so what me and my best friend Anna wanted to do was we wanted to create a safe space for those individuals to come and to freely express themselves and not feel judged. So we came up with the name Psychward, but if you look at our logo, it crosses out the O.
Right.
What we wanted to do was to eliminate the stigma of psycho, like, you know, the word psycho, and turn it into something positive. Right? And so that's what our business is.
So what do you feel like y'all goals are? Is it strictly about helping people through what has mental health issues, or people who are reluctant to kind of tell their story and kind of give those feelings out, kind of like what you just said, in the Black community, we don't share things, we don't talk about our feelings. It's looked at, it's frowned upon, it's kind of looked down upon. People are proud on people like that.
Right.
So what is the goal of Psychward LLC?
I think our main goal is to make sure that everyone is welcome, that they're not judged. Rather you have mental health issues or not, rather you just going through something that day, you just want to express yourself. The goal is to make sure that everyone feels welcomed and not judged, and that they are in a safe space to freely express themselves when they need to, when they want to, so that they don't have to hold those things in, that they have somebody there to really listen to them and be there for them.
Okay. Do you have the Instagram?
Definitely. So our Instagram is Psychward LLC _. You guys most definitely can follow that. We have a lot of big ideas coming soon. The ultimate goal is to get a building. That's the big goal. But right now we just working on doing like little sessions around Detroit and things like that. And so that's something, I ain't gonna say too much, but most definitely follow the Instagram so that you guys can stay updated on the information for those events.
Okay, I have 2 more questions for you. So I ask this question in every interview. So when you hear my walk is different, like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
I would say change.
Change. That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah.
The first time I heard that. Okay, and how do you feel like your walk is different?
I feel like my walk is different because every day you're not going to do the same thing. Every day is a new story. So I feel like my walk is different because despite of what I went through in life, I believe God is still creating my story. So that's why I say change, because you're not going to get the same thing every day. Every day can be a different story. Every day can be a new testimony. Every day can be different from the last. And I take that as growth.
Okay. I like your shirt, by the way. Combo tee. If y'all need to go get some combo tee, this is the embroidered tee. Make sure y'all go shop at www.mywalkisdifferent.com. Of course, you must be already following me if you're watching this. So I appreciate you. And I'd like to thank Lauren for coming and sharing. It takes a great amount of knowing who you are and being confident with yourself for you to even share and give these type of stories, because a lot of people are reluctant and want to hold on to these memories when we're meant to be a testimony to other people. We don't know what we went through in life that can help other people from stumbling over what we stumbled over. So if you want to give anything to the world, you know, why not give them your story? So we appreciate her coming, giving her story, because she didn't have to. We'll also be dropping this on her dad's birthday, so I hope, you know, that means a lot to her, because losing someone is hard, you know, and everything that she went through to even get past that, and how he strengthened her to get through that is a big thing in people's lives. So I just want to make sure I put it together the correct way and give her kind of a happy moment, you know, on her dad's birthday, kind of a gift from us to her, and then from her to her dad. So I know that he's looking down in the interview, proud of her, you know, proud of what she's accomplished, and I'm proud that she's doing something positive with her life and not allowing what's happened to him to stagnate her or keep her from doing the things that he wanted her to do while he was here. So thanks again, and we appreciate you. Make sure that y'all stay tuned for the next interview, because we will be back with another interview, and until next time.
I got something to lose, something to prove. You think you can do what I do, then walk in my shoes. You think you can do what I do, then walk in my shoes. Yeah, y'all barely move, I'm kinda confused. I got something to lose and something to prove. You think you can do what I do, then walk in my shoes. You think you can do what I do, then walk in my shoes.